Hello, I'm Pastor Jeffries. I'm the pastor of the Philadelphia Church of Universal Brotherhood, and I want to welcome you to a special edition of Mindful Monday. As you might well know, we're on a 30-day mental diet, and we're about ready to enter into the second week. We're on day number 7. And I just want to discuss briefly with you a few fundamental things of lesson number 7. The name of lesson number 7 is Discovering Yourself. Uh, Discovering Yourself. The subtitle states a fundamental truth that a lot of us know or some of us don't, but today we just want to introduce it to you if you've never heard it before because it's a truth. You are in partnership with the creator of the universe. I'm going to say that again. You are in partnership with the creator of the whole universe. Your consciousness, your intelligence, and ability to think is part of the infinite intelligence in you as you. Its thought is created, and so is yours at the level of your expression of life. I want to give you a chance to digest that. Think about it. You are a co creator with the one mind. As a tangible creation and manifestation of the one mind, what are you doing about it? What can you do about it? Or what do you need to do about it? That's the questions. Those are the questions we want to look at. There would appear to be a responsibility that is largely unrecognized and obligation to fulfill that is not fully comprehended. In other words, you have an obligation to fulfill that we don't quite understand. And this comes from not knowing the nature of what you are. You are part and parcel of life, the value of discontentment. We're going to talk about the divine discontent. There is a need to discover yourself, to become aware of the divine urge that is forever pressing forth from the center of you, seeking greater recognition of itself through you. You have time and time again experienced the creative urge for expression. You must be created in your life or you feel deeply frustrated. Whether your desire is for achievement, takes the form of a masterpiece or art or a chocolate cake. You might want to master baking a great chocolate cake. You must express love, else hate will gnaw within you, destroying health and happiness. There must be a givingness in all you do. Otherwise, you are only depriving yourself. The universe deprives you of nothing, but continually strives to express through you any lessening of the discontent you may feel can be achieved only through creative expression. Okay. I want to break this down a little bit. It is this divine discontent which drives you on to ever greater accomplishment. There's an urge in you to do more, to accomplish more. You might have a dream that you want to accomplish. You may have goals that you want to reach that's going to make you feel better about yourself. because you are a creative being. You were made in the image and likeness of the Creator, that one mind behind the universe, that one mind that is the universe, who created all things and is all things and is in you. Haha. I just want to slow down a little bit and let you ingest that, let you think about that. The Bible sometimes says Selah. That means stop and think about that. Think about it deeply. You are a part of life. That universal mind, that one mind. God is here with me right now, in the midst of me, right in the mind of me, right in my being, right in your being. I am God and God is. Think about that. Every moment of every day, through the process of what you think, you are establishing the pattern or mode of your experience. What is going on in your mind? What is it going to be? Are you going to let your thinking follow the well worn paths of race, belief in the necessity of sickness and poverty and unhappiness? Nah, I don't think so. You are going to stand up and declare to yourself that you know you are part of life. Claim it. Claim its inherent good in you as your experience and become a co creator with God at the level of your expression of God. You know, He made you in His likeness and image. We say that often because the Bible tells us that, and we have this divine urge within us. This you should learn to do. It is necessary, in fact, if you are to get the most out of living, you have to think this way. You have to realize the greatness inside of you and who you are. Whereas previously you may have had the feeling that everyone was all wrong or everything is all wrong with life. Now, as you discover yourself for what you really are and align the pattern of your thinking with the one mind, with the nature of the infinite, you have infinite possibility. I'm going to say that again. You have infinite possibilities, and you have to align yourself with the one mind. You will find yourself creative of only good in your life and the lives of others that you're in contact with. We are all expressing God every day of our life. That's powerful. How are you expressing Him in your life? You know, I was at church this weekend and I told the congregation that we are all ambassadors for Him. You know, you as ambassadors, we have to represent. You are a co creator with God. Accept the fact that you are a co creator with the infinite creator. You have been all along, but it looks at some, when you look at some things in your life that through ignorance you alone have been responsible for, you can discover and avail yourself of the nature and the action of the infinite at the center of your being and accept and permit its fuller expression of good in and through every aspect of your life. In other words, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say you have greatness on the inside of you. The mind of the infinite flows through you. When you sit still and invite his presence, you will see the positive outcome of good in your life because he's good. He's never sick, he's never sad. Why should you be sick and sad? You take up residence in him, and he says that he is the center of your life. He Your body is the temple where he dwells. The Bible says that. And I want you to think that way during this week. There's some mental stimulus that I really want you to be aware of. For instance, Arthur H. Compton, he's a scientist, and he says this: the second aspect of God that I want to recognize is the basis of existence and of life and motivation, which I think of as conscious power. I want to read that again. The second aspect of God that I recognize is the basis of existence and of life and motivation, which I think of as conscious power. He goes on to say, this power appears to me as having a special concern for its conscious creatures who share the responsibility of shaping their part of the world. You share the responsibility of shaping your part of the world, your space where you are, okay? He goes on to say the opportunity to share with God the shaping of the conditions of life is a tremendous challenge and the great responsibility that comes with freedom. That's Arthur H. Compton. He's a scientist. The philosopher, they weigh in on this note. We're going to take an excerpt from John Eloff. He's a philosopher. And he says this: always there is the creative life of God working in and through us as we prepare for it and cooperate with it. We must believe, he says, that the forces of the Spirit are stronger than any material forces. That thought rules the world. That's great. Thought rules the world. In our ideal creativeness and the faith which is inspiration, the faith is the inspiration of the ideal creativeness. He goes on to say, we are in a small measure architects with God of the universe builders of the nobler temple of the future. I want to read that again. We are in a small measure architects with God of the universe builders of a nobler temple of the future. That's John Elof Boudin. He's a philosopher. The Bible puts it this way. The Bible says, religion, as the Father has life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself. Now remember, you're made in their image and likeness. So if the Son has life in himself to create, you also have life in yourself to create that portion of your sphere of the world where you are. The diet of this lesson says this, and I want to read it in the first person so you get the full benefit of what we're saying here. It's deep, but I want you to listen. The diet says this: I know that every man is a creation of God, an offspring of God, and I am that offspring now. God is forever creating and becoming his creation. The nature of God is never diminished by what he creates. But I have yet to fully awake to all that I am. Get this now. God is what I am. Get this, small g. You're not on level with the big God, but you're small g. The Bible says you're made a little lower than angels, okay? And God is forever creating and becoming his creation. That's you and I. God is what I am. My mind is an individualized expression of the mind of God. God speaks and it is done. I speak my word and it is creative in my life at the level of my expression and awareness of God. So we're not seeking to be on the level of God. We're seeking to be on in step with him, in sync with him, because he created us to be creative. I'm going to read on. I now declare and affirm that only the perfect, harmonious action of God is what appears in and through my life and experience. I accept the responsibility of causing this to come to pass through the creativeness of my own thoughts. I love it. Today, I straighten out my thinking in full awareness of myself as a co creator with God. I now declare that from this moment on, all the patterns of my thinking shall always be in accord with the greatest possible good, which normally and naturally becomes manifest through the law of mind in every aspect of my life. That's deep. I want you to look at this tape again, slowly think about it, slowly contemplate it. Uh, and then the capsule supplement of the lesson is also very deep. I'm going to read it in signing off, okay? I recognize and affirm that the creative action of the spark of divinity that resides at the center of my being, now unhindered by my negative thinking, goes forth anew into fuller expression in my life. What does that mean? I'm going to let the mind of God flow to me and through me. You're going to let the mind of God flow to you and through you, and you're going to realize that you have unlimited possibilities because you have greatness on the inside of you. Think about it. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on Mindful Monday. God bless.